What's going on, guys? How are we doing today? Today's video, I want to go and talk a bit more about Conquest, and just maybe show off some of my teams, that I've been using. Some of those teams that either help you with certain feats, or teams that just help you get through the entire Conquest as a whole. I will say this, though, we're going to be using a lot of the same teams over the the course of entire Conquest 10. Right now we have around 7 more days. We're pretty much at the halfway point with Conquest. Hopefully you guys are getting there to getting the red box. Again, like my whole overview of Conquest 10, definitely a bit more annoying. I wouldn't say it's more tough. I think it's just more annoying. There are definitely feats that are very hard and tough, but there's also feats that are just way more annoying. For example, the event feats are by far the biggest challenge in this entire Conquest. I had to spend the last, before I got red box, I had to spend 2 days prior just solely focusing on these feats. About the defeat 100 enemies with Boba Fett and Jango, getting 40 wins with the smugglers, 40 wins with the bounty hunters, and then getting some wins with Boba Fett and Fennec. It's super annoying to try to get all these different wins because some teams overlap. So you can't really get all of them done with one squad. So what I did was I went through every single sector 1 through 5, got most of the sector feats done, and then I went back to like sector 1 just to farm the event feats after I got all the other sector feats done that I could. So the only feats I was not able to complete, there was 2 of them. One was getting Bad Batch kills, and then the other one, or Bad Batch wins, and the other one was getting these wins with Boba Fett and Han Solo. What you could do if you had a bit more time on your hands, like maybe you didn't like go right into Conquest and like just rushing through it like I did, you could definitely do Boba Fett, Han Solo, and then the Boba Fett and Fennec Shand wins all in the same kind of go, and get all of those done in 20 battles without having to overlap into other teams. But since I was kind of rushing, I instead went the smugglers route with getting 40 wins with smugglers and then having to do the Fennec and Boba Fett in a different kind of battle. So it was a bit more annoying if I didn't really rush towards getting the red box so early on. I would probably do that. I would get Fennec and Han Solo wins with Boba Fett and not do the smuggler wins because it would have been way easier. But here we are. We got it done. So let's go over some teams. First things first, let's start at Sector 5. I might be bouncing a lot of the places in Conquest for this video, but I would say for the majority of Sector 5, I used the Mandalorian team. If you guys got Maul from the last Conquest, he is fantastic in this sector. He is so good. You pretty much get free 3 out of 3s. You don't have to replay any missions. You get all these feats done with getting like Mandalorian kills and even sometimes stunning. But then, you work towards this entire sector without really losing anybody or getting any lower than 3 stars in your battles. So for that one, I would recommend using like something like this. Maul with Jango, Canderous, Beskar, and Watt. And it's nice because this team can be used up until you have like no stamina left. So definitely one team I would recommend for Sector 5. Other teams for Sector 5, if you guys don't have those remnants built up, then what you can do is use like a GL, like a Kylo, for instance, and then toss in the other 4 remnants for that feat. There's only 4 in the game, so you can do this. Same thing, you can, over time with the right disc setup, like I said, you can go watch my other video about the disc setup, but the disc setup that I have makes it so they all start off with ability blocks, so they never get any abilities off, no specials, and they just die over time to the debuffs, the dots, or the thermals. So you can use this for that feat too with a Kylo or an Emperor. Super, super easy, nothing bad at all. Getting the nasty up ones, I would definitely go with Yoda, GMY, and maybe some Luke. For that one, you can even go ahead and use them in the boss fight and get them all done that way, because that boss fight can be pretty annoying. But for this boss fight, you can always go with Bestigar Mando. So here's another great team for Conquest, whether it's for this boss fight or not. This is such a great team to use because of a lot of different things. I would say one of the biggest things is because of the disc, Amplify Agony, which deals some more damage based off of a debuff. And then I would also say that Bestigar Mando's leadership with more turn meter gain is also equally as huge here. get you free wins, and you do not have to worry about losing anybody. This is like a very low gear and low star mob enforcer. So right there, we get 1 shots, 2 shots. I mean, they're just dying left and right pretty much. And with this leadership, if you guys do not know, you get trying to say that correctly, 2% turn meter whenever an enemy takes damage. So based off of all the Amplify Agonies, all that damage, damage over time, thermals, literally any time they take damage, you get a lot of TM. So you get in a cycle, a little bit of a TM loop, if you will, and you never have the enemies take a turn, which is super huge and makes these boss fights very, very easy. Especially for those boss fights where you can't use Jedi or Sith or Unaligned Force users. It's very easy for those as well. So for this one, I think you could even toss in, for this feat, we had to get Bo-Katan and who was the other one surviving? I forget. Let's go back into the game. For that feat, we had to keep up Bo-Katan and Beskar. So there you go. You got all those done in one fight, pretty much. I could maybe double check. I forget if Beskar is Unaligned Force user. He might be. No, he's not. So, yeah, you could get all of those done in one fight right there. Super, super easy. Nothing too crazy. So that's pretty much Sector 5. For all those feats, if you guys want me to go ahead and do a disc setup, I could definitely show you for a different video. But for like Sector 4, not too bad. Kind of like similar stuff here, right? Potency down, Yoda. So you can get Yoda done with all the light side and also with potency down. Same thing with critical hits. You'll get that one done super easy. Empire units, same thing, just using either troopers or Vader team. There you go there. For the boss feats, same thing. You can use the Bestigar Mando team to get those kills. If you don't have Bestigar Mando up good enough, you can always use the Separatists. I use Separatists for a lot of these boss feats. For the Hokey Religions feat. For this one with Gamorrean Guard, all I did was use Yoda with my Master Luke lead, gave out Voluntary Vanguard to mark my Master Luke, and then it was super easy after that. Nobody even touched my Gamorrean Guard. So that's Sector 4, not too bad there. Sector 3, a bit more tough. As you can see, I haven't even beat it all the way, because I can't get the Bad Batch wins, because I got no Bad Batch. But this one, not too bad. You have to use some smugglers here for the staggers, so in Sector 3, you can farm some of those smuggler wins if you wanted to. Defense up is pretty easy. Just toss in Clone Wars Chewbacca for the leadership, and you can get that one in one battle. Rebel Fighters, a bit more annoying, but with the right discs, it's not too bad. And of course, Bad Batch. So I would say, let's just stop for a second. For almost every single rule of thumb in Conquest, to making it easier for yourself, getting through all of the sectors as fast as possible without worrying about feats is the best way to go, because then you can go back and get the right disc setup after you get all the sectors done, and then go and focus all of those feats one by one. It saves you so much more time instead of having to replay each and every battle over and over again. You can just go through that super, super easy, get all the discs that you need, and you're good to go. So for this one, the boss for this Han Solo one, a bit more tricky. Same thing though, you can definitely do the exact same strat. I use Separatists for this one, not too bad. The thermals kill them off one by one and then leaves Han Solo alive for last. Or you can just use the Beskar Mando strategy, right? So a lot of things you can do here, guys. So that's that sector, Sector 3. Sector 2, up here with the Night Sisters. I think these are ones you got to get Night Sister wins. Still not bad, right? And then we have to gain stealth, inflict armor shred, and win without losing any units. So not too bad here. Stealth, I use for stealth R2. And I used also gas with R2 in a bit of a Kenobi team, or using them with perhaps, I don't know, Padme even. A lot of stuff there you can do. Stealth is not too bad. So there you go there. Armor shreds with gas, Commander Ahsoka, or Ki-Adi-Mundi. A lot of stuff there for the armor shreds. Or Fennec Shan. Fennec Shan also inflicts a lot of armor shreds. For this boss fight, this one's super easy. Not even going to go into that one. Mace Windu is just having him survive is not bad at all. And then Sector 1. This is the sector that I used a lot of my battles on because I had to get the event feats done on a lot. I probably spent the last 2 days doing 50 plus battles on just one sector, or in Sector 1 against the Night Sister team. This one, getting Frenzy is super easy if you get that initial Frenzy disc, or just getting the Bosk going with his Frenzy on his Taunt, or Biston. A lot of different stuff you can use here. Pretty much all these feats are extremely easy to get once you have the right disc setup, guys. Pretty much that's just how it's going to go. This boss fight, full Separatists, you can get that done in one go with Separatists. There you go. But yeah, I mean, those are all the sectors. Nothing too crazy. I would say the feats get immensely more difficult if you do not get the right discs, guys. So that's like another thing with Conquest, is getting the right discs. I totally feel that. I understand, right? So I've had some people like comment on some of my videos like, yo, I never got a lot of the caustic emissions, or I never got a lot of the amplify agonies. Well, you don't really need a lot of them. You just got to get at least one of them, right? So, but then of course you have some people who don't even get one, and that's a different kind of talk, different kind of conversation to have. But for the most part, it's nothing too crazy for this Conquest. I would definitely say the feats for the event are the worst because they take the longest time to get. So still, same strategy as I would say before, is go through most Conquest with the same teams. Like, you can farm most of the sectors by using bounty hunters if you wanted to. Get all those done that way. And then use some of those other teams, those cheesy teams, like using Bestigar Mando, or using that Maul team. Those are teams that will guarantee you, even with low stamina, 3 out of 3 for stars, and you can get through sectors without losing anybody. And it's super easy, guys. Like, I'm telling you, they're just not too bad at all. Just rushing through Conquest, you can get it done in no time, really. But definitely a bit more time consuming than the one before, but still doable. Conquest 10, man, not that good, guys. I gotta be honest, but still doable. But yeah, like I said, using some of those teams, using that Maul team, using those Bestigar Mando teams, definitely doable. So there you go. Plus, you know, you still have GLs that we haven't even touched into. Mainly, I would say the only GL you're going to be using the most of, going to be Master Luke still, maybe some Kenobi, and a bit of Kylo for some of those feats with the remnants. But that's probably about it, guys, for my video. Disc setup is can't talk. Disc setup is one of the most crucial parts to Conquest. My game crashed, but disc setup is by far the biggest thing in Conquest for this season of Conquest anyways. But that's about it. If you guys want me to go and do more videos about Conquest, let me know. I can definitely do that. But I would say for my channel, that's probably about it for this Conquest 10. I might go do some more videos about Conquest if you guys need me to. But I'm always here to help, guys. I love Conquest in terms of showing you guys videos and strategies. I don't love playing it as much as me sharing guides to help you guys in terms of YouTube and all that. But it is what it is. Especially nice that I had a whole weekend to kind of focus on Conquest since I had time on my hands, but not everybody has that time on their hands, right? So that's about it. Have a good one out there, guys. Until next time, I will see you later. Peace out and have a good one. Bye, guys.